This week on State Champs Scout Show, Michigan State football continues to go big on the offensive line. The latest commit from the west side of the mitten proved positive. In Ohio, the Cincinnati defensive line just got a whole lot better as the Bearcats pick up more from Pickerington. And a four-star prospect on one of Indiana's nationally ranked high school hoop squads is now back on the market. Let's get after it. Hi everyone, Lauren Plant's back in the house to host the latest edition of State Champs Scout Show presented by Lawrence Technological Universities. Flat out, one of the best universities in the Midwest. Small class sizes, incredible degree programs, over 24 NAIA varsity sports. We're located on campus, and you can be here too. Academic and athletic scholarships are available. Recruit yourself at ltuathletics.com. You know, every week here on Scout Show, former Michigan State quarterback Ryan Van Dyke gives you personal insights and advice on how you can navigate the recruiting game. Recruiting 101 coming up later in the show. Let's start this week with the latest from Indiana.
This is Scott Bernstein from Indiana. Lawrence North Jr. four-star boys basketball prospect C.J. Gunn appears to be back on the college recruiting market after Indiana fired Archie Miller this week. Gunn, a 6'5" jack-of-all-trades shooting guard, declined to reaffirm his commitment following Miller's departure on Monday. His Lawrence North club is nationally ranked and making a run at a 4A state title. Lawrence North bested Plainfield and Ben Davis in the regionals over the weekend. Gunn is pumping in 16 points per game and shooting a high percentage. He originally committed to Indiana back in January and is expected to be a frontrunner for Mr. Basketball in 2022. Besides Indiana, Missouri, Kansas State, Xavier, and Cincinnati all offered Gunn scholarships last summer. Moving over to hardwood news in the northwest part of the state, Crown Point senior guard Ty Smith signed with NAIA St. Ambrose out of Iowa last week. Smith is a Bulldog combo guard who averaged 20 points per game and was one of the area's best players creating off the dribble. Switching gears to football recruiting, Indianapolis Brebeuf Jr. defensive end Joe Strickland has named his top 10 scholarship offers. The prolific pass rusher has narrowed down the list to Michigan, Indiana, Purdue, Penn State, Northwestern, Stanford, Virginia, Cincinnati, Nebraska, and Harvard of the Ivy League. The 6'5", 260-pounder recorded 55 tackles and 7 sacks in 2020. He is considered a top 5 player for his class in the state of Indiana. Brebeuf finished 5-5. Checking in from Indiana, this was Scott Bernstein.
If you're a high school athlete with the dream of playing college sports, Lawrence Technological University wants you to recruit yourself. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports, including its newest additions, competitive cheer and dance, esports, women's hockey, and men's and women's track and field. Visit ltuathletics.com and recruit yourself. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
This is Alan True with your latest look at recruiting news from the state of Ohio. Pickerington Central defensive lineman Tyler Gillison gave a verbal to the Cincinnati Bearcats, joining his high school teammate CJ Doggett in the UC defensive line class. The 6'4", 240-pound Gillison played all over the line of scrimmage as a junior, even standing up at times. He projects to defensive end and should mainly have his hand down, but offers the versatility to move around for the Bearcats. He chooses them over offers from West Virginia, Virginia Tech, Syracuse, and many more. Streetsboro's Hunter Hopperton is seeing an increase in recruiting attention. Hopperton is a 6'3", 244-pound tight end or defensive lineman who could play on either side of the ball come college. He was a first-team all-conference selection and a first-team all-district selection as a junior. Lafayette recently offered, joining Army, Austin Peay, Air Force, Brown, Eastern Kentucky, Ball State, Charlotte, Dartmouth, Penn, and Kent State. Hopperton's 4.0 GPA has helped draw the interest of those schools. Cincinnati St. Xavier tight end Max Clare now has over 10 offers and his first Power 5 offer as Duke came in for the 6'4", 225-pound junior. Clare was originally a quarterback but moved to tight end to help his team and wound up becoming a real asset and college prospect there. This was even after an injury took away most of his regular season, but he returned just in time to help the Bombers win a state title. Even with the limited game, schools have been impressed with his athleticism and versatility. In addition to the Blue Devils, schools like Tulane, Liberty, Bowling Green, Ball State, Marshall, Kent State, Air Force, and Navy have offered scholarships, and he's continuing to stay in touch with programs like Cincinnati, Pitt, Purdue, Vanderbilt, and more. Clare is planning to visit schools in between playing in his spring baseball season. Cleveland Benedictine linebacker Darrell Bettingfield Jr. continues to see his offer list grow. Eastern Kentucky recently joined that ever-growing list. Cincinnati was one of his first offers, and they've now been joined by Marshall, UCF, Western Michigan, Howard, Akron, and Air Force. A 3.2 GPA student, Bettingfield was a first-team All-District, second-team All-Area, and third-team All-Ohio selection as a junior. He blitzed off the edge and is also shown to be comfortable in space, which makes him an every-down linebacker prospect for those schools. That's it for recruiting news this week. I'm Alan True.
Did you record an unbelievable touchdown, a game-winning goal, or just a proud parent moment? Then we want your clip. Upload your video to the brand new State Champs Network app so we can feature it on one of our shows and give your player, team, and school the recognition they deserve. All it takes is just a few easy clicks, and every clip that is submitted will automatically be eligible for prizes. Download the State Champs Network app today for iPhone and Android devices. I'm Lauren Plants with the latest recruiting news from the state of Michigan. In his short time recruiting for Michigan State, Mel Tucker has proven he likes to grab big, tall, athletic players with big projectable frames, and Grand Haven's Ashton Lepo certainly fits that bill. The 6'7", 270-pound junior offensive tackle committed to the Spartans on March 12th, picking MSU from among an offer list that included Baylor, Cincinnati, Indiana, and Tulane, as well as most of the Mid-American Conference. 9 of his 13 offers coming since the turn of the calendar year, including a February 3rd bid from the Spartans. Lepo joins a 2022 class where all 8 offensive commits or signees to Tucker's MSU program have been 6'5" or taller. A 3-star recruit, Lepo is ranked among the top 20 in-state players in the 2022 class by 24/7 Sports and the top 70 tackles in the nation. While Mr. Football finalist Ty Holtz got the lion's share of the headlines for the DeWitt offense, it certainly didn't hurt he had a D1 caliber receiving target to throw to in classmate Tommy Mcintosh. The 6'4", 200-pound receiver had several offers, with most of them from the Mid-American Conference and the Ivy League. His recruitment has taken a swing upwards after his 4-catch, 74-yard, 1-touchdown performance in the title game. Mcintosh reeled in a Cincinnati offer at the start of February, followed by Harvard and Eastern Kentucky. Then has gotten 3 more bids in the first half of March, including his first from the SEC in Vanderbilt and his first from the Big Ten in Indiana. Mcintosh averaged nearly 25 yards and a touchdown every other catch on his 28 grabs through the Panthers' first 10 games this season. Mcintosh also picked off 4 passes on defense. If he looks like a basketball player in pads at a lanky 6'5", 190 pounds, that's because North Farmington's Aaron Rice is a dual-sport stud, suiting up both on the gridiron as well as on the court for the highly ranked Raiders. While his size and athleticism sets him apart in good stead in both sports, he's got an elite catch radius with his height, wingspan, and leaping ability, and college coaches are starting to take heavy notice. After a 33-catch, 8-touchdown junior season in which he averaged nearly 15 yards per grab, he earned all-state honors from the Michigan High School Football Coaches Association. Rice has picked up 5 offers since the end of January, including all 3 service academies, Eastern Michigan, and Columbia. Air Force offered Rice back in February, followed by Army and Navy this month. Sometimes you just know where you want to be, and sometimes a good fit is better than anything else. Ithaca's all-state wideout Zach Poff reopened his recruitment on the 1st of March, decommitting from the FCS Dayton Flyers, with whom he'd been committed since before the start of his senior season. It only took 2 weeks for Poff, who'd previously had offers from Valparaiso and Lawrence Tech, as well as a handful of Division III roster spots, to find his new destination, landing at D3's Hope College, noting in a tweeted announcement, "Home is where the heart is." Through the pause, the 5'10", 190-pound Poff had 30 catches for 653 yards and 7 scores, and more than 1,000 all-purpose yards. He also added 3 interceptions on defense. If the addition of Kevin Glenn as the Novi Detroit Catholic Central offensive coordinator was going to be good for any single player, you knew that would be junior quarterback Declan Bile. The 6'2", 175-pound quarterback took advantage, throwing for more than 1,800 yards and 20 touchdowns against just 5 interceptions in a season that saw the Shamrocks win a Catholic League title and go unbeaten until the regional final. It certainly opened the eyes of recruiters too, and that resulted in Bile grabbing his first Division I offer in mid-March from Yale. Bile is getting looks from around the Ivy League. Certainly his 3.5 GPA doesn't hurt him there, as well as in-state's D1 Central and Eastern Michigan. That's it from the Wolverine State. I'm Lauren Plant.
This is Ryan Van Dyke with State Champs Network. So this coach said power, speed, and preparation. Coach concluded his message by telling our group that he was actually there to practice himself, that we were his lab rats. That he would often take opportunities such as this to improve his craft, the actual polishing part before passing it on. Preparation never stops, he said. It's a lifestyle. Now remember, this guy is at the top of my proverbial food chain. He's a big deal, but he's there for free. Admittedly, losing sleep the night before because he's so jacked to share what he has to offer to the game to these kids. And that's what a true professional is. Extremely talented and uniquely qualified no matter. He was there to use us for his pleasure as lab rats. That was the moment when the light bulb started going off and I began to think about how I could share this. Preparation takes maturity. That thing that happens when what you have to do becomes what you want to do? Preparation is not relying on power and speed, but wanting to be prepared. Preparation is focusing on the task at hand. It's controlling the controllables. Preparation is planning the work and working the plan. Preparation is answering questions that haven't even been asked yet. Preparation is humility and courage. It's taking the next step when you're not sure what that may be. Preparation is the doing. And there you have it. Whether it's sports, work, or life, the lesson is in the details. Dive into them. When you love what you do, you search for meaning differently. This narrative is a classic example of that. I hope you got as much out of it as I did. Until next time, this is Ryan Van Dyke with State Champs Network.
I want to thank you so much for watching this week. State Champs Sports Network is all about highlights. So for the best coverage of all sports in Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio, find us on social media. Download the free State Champs app. For more great scout team coverage, visit statechampsnetwork.com. Weekly blogs and content provided all year long, completely free. We'll see you next week. State Champs Scout Show is proudly presented by Lawrence Technological University, where Blue Devils dare.